Best of R/Tales from Retail episode 21. I work at a comic book store. We buy and sell many things, including Pokemon cards. Regular old adult dude walks in. Adult dude, you pay 30% of what you charge? So for this $29 card, you'd give me $12? Staff member, more like almost 10. Adult dude, so will you pay me the same amount you charge for your Pokemon cards? Staff member, no. That's not really how it works. Adult dude, should I come behind the counter so you can look at them? Staff member, you can just hand them to me across the counter here. 3 spectacularly silly questions in a row. Also, his cards were in such bad condition, we didn't buy any of them. Thank you. Next. Hi again. People don't listen and people love complaining. Not too long ago I was working on a rather simple order for a new client. Cool. They wanted a piece of equipment but never requested a specific model. Great. I don't promise specific models unless prompted. They never prompted. This is normal. Not everyone needs a specific model. After the order is done is when I hear about the delivery and ongoing problems. Apparently when delivering said equipment, the tech realized that it wasn't working. The tech then replaced the broken machine with one of the same model that was on the truck. Easy swap. No real change for the client. Apparently the client became convinced that they received a different model, a lesser model. They were angry. This isn't what was promised. But it was. It was exactly what was promised. It was exactly the same machine. Okay, sure, you wanna be fussy. Let's address your other problems. What are your other problems? These ongoing problems you mentioned. Silence. Okay, well I'm not a mind reader. I can't fix what I don't know about. I move on. Client recently placed a duplicate order. Again they brought up the machine swap. I want the same model as before, not the model you were going to send, but the model you actually sent, they say. Okay, you can have the same model again. Sure thing, thank you. Next. I have had a few deaf customers every so often in the tourist shop I worked at and I always felt awkward communicating through text on my phone. So I learned to sign basic interaction in BSL. British Sign Language, and a few signs in ASL, American Sign Language, for the few deaf American tourists to make things easier. Mostly key question words and descriptive words about our whiskey, gin, and Scottish sweets. So I am far from a fluent signer, but I try. But one day a middle-aged woman, MW, a deaf young woman, DW, who looked to be 16 plus, walked into the shop I worked in, ME. I will be writing how I signed and not full sentences. The 2 customers walk into the store and the older lady walks straight up to her co-worker with a long list of potential Christmas gifts for people, leaving the young women in the middle of the store. I can tell that she has Down syndrome, which might explain OW behavior, as a protective instinct, but that wasn't something I reflected on so I greeted her like I would any other customer. ME. Hi, how are you doing today? DW. Signs deaf. ME. Signs hi, how are you? DW. Signs hi, I am good, how are you? We had samples for traditional Scottish fudge and I was supposed to offer it to all customers who came in. Me. Sign good, thank you. Try Scottish sweet? Free. DW. Sign yes, please. ME. Sign chocolate, vanilla, raisined Scottish sweets. It is now that the middle-aged woman notices that I am signing with the younger woman. MW, what do you think you are doing? ME taken aback, I was offering her to sample some fudge while you talk to my coworker. Can she not eat fudge? MW, she can, but what makes you think that you are allowed to sign with her? I honestly wish I said something but I was so taken aback that I said nothing for a few seconds. MW walked up to DW and grabbed her hand. Come, we are leaving. DW as they walk out the door with a sad expression on her face. Sign goodbye. I sign goodbye back but I just stand there in silence wondering what the hell just happened. Thank you. Next. I work in a glass shop with another girl. Customer walks in the door today. Both of us are on the phone. Before she even gets both her feet in the door, or we can say hello to her. Customer. You guys are so rude. Are you even gonna help me? Coworker NI. Thinking face. I'm still on the phone. My coworkers get off the phone. Coworker. How can I help you? Customer. Obviously I need glass. My car got shot out today. I've had a bad day. You guys are so rude. At this point co-worker and I both look pretty confused. Co-worker. So did you need a price? Customer. No, I need a glass. Done today. It's 5 p.m. Co-worker. So I just need some information from you. Customer. You're so rude. Aren't you gonna come up to the counter and ask me my information? Me. Sorry mom, we have to input your information in the computer. At my desk. We give her all the information. Needless to say, she left without scheduling an apt. Glass is not local. Would have to schedule today to have it here tomorrow, which I tried to explain to her as she was walking out the door yelling about how rude we were. Woman with medium skin tone face palming. Why do people feel that they can come into a place of business and be abusive to the worker? I know the old saying customer is always right, but there's also another saying you get more bees with honey, no need for the abuse. Merry Christmas. Christmas tree. Thank you. Next. Hey everyone. I've enjoyed reading this subreddit for a while and I'm glad to finally contribute. This tale happened just yesterday. There's several characters in this story. All names of course are changed for obvious reasons. Also I'm posting this on mobile, so I'm sorry if the format is odd. So this past Thursday I got a call from a friend of mine who said she's looking for work and wanted to know if we had a sales position open. I gave her the email to send her resume to my boss, and she said she'll send it first thing in the morning. Friday morning rolls around and my assistant manager checks the email, and in the preview it reads, "Hello, I'm a friend of Dr. 2116 and he passed." She proceeds to nearly have a heart attack till she opens the email and it continues, "Passed on information that you're hiring act." Thankfully she calmed down and found it a little funny. She then sent the email to our store boss, who then sent the first time in our employee group chat saying, "Dr. 2116, please let your friends know to watch how they word things. Your friend nearly gave Azam a heart attack." Naturally I would have read this and laughed while sending a YT comment, but you see, I was asleep. Every Friday before my shift I tend to arrive 2-3 hours early to assess what needs to be done, get breakfast, chill out, and do some writing. All my co-workers know this. Around the time my shift is to start, some of them are wondering where I am. That's when my manager, who not in the story, nor was the Azam, tagged me in the group chat. Naturally with them seeing a message stating that I passed and me not showing up early or being at work, they got worries real quick. Meanwhile at home I'm snoring away in dreamland till my roommate wakes me up an hour after my shift was supposed to start. Apparently he tried waking me up earlier, but I told him while half asleep I didn't work till that night. So I get up and don't even bother checking my phone until I get there. Shortly before I showed up, my Azam sent the rest of the email to my co-workers to finish the rest of the story. Not every saw that, which explained the confused faces when they saw me walk into the store and start my shift. It wasn't till a couple hours later that I saw what had happened, and it all suddenly made sense why everyone was saying, "Oh, it's glad to see you're alive and well," or why I got looks when I said that I was dead tired. In the end though we all got a good laugh at it, and my friend has an interview at our location, so at least she's got an icebreaker. P.S. My father works at our store too and didn't see the chat till that evening. He pointed out he wasn't happy to be the last to know that I passed. Thank you. Next. We have a sale going on at my store right now. Spend $75, get X $ off your purchase, depending on their account tier. 99% of our clients have an account with us. It's easy and free to make and you get free stuff/sales. On Saturday I had not one, not two, but 3 people who would have not only saved money but essentially get a free item by grabbing another item. I tried in vain to explain how they are spending $60, so if they get a $15 item they would get $20/$25 off. I even offered to show them a few different items in that price range. Most just stared blankly, said no thanks, and that was that. One though was certain I was trying to get her to spend more money. She was already spending $72. $3 more and she would get $20 off. Yet she couldn't get over that she had to spend $3 more. I gave up. Real fast. I'll save my efforts of explanation for someone who's going to get excited at crossing another item off their holiday list for free. Thank you. Next. So glad I found this. Oh boy do I have some stories. I worked in various stores for 10 years before getting out of Purgatory. I mean retail. I'll start with this one. This may have been 5 or 6 years ago. I was an assistant deli manager for the grocery store in my hometown. It was a typical busy day. I was working on the counter with I guess 2 associates. The policy was 1 associate for every 2 customers if I remember correctly, so there were a few more in line. Everything was going fine, just lots of slicing going on, until, excuse me. There it is. Should have known that was coming. Things were going too well. I look up from the slicer to see a woman that was probably in her late 60s angrily staring at us. Yes, Mom? Someone needs to wait on Emmy right now. As soon as we finish the customers we are already working on we will. No, I'm not waiting. I ignore her and continue slicing. I'm not waiting any longer. I'll get front-end manager's name back here. I'm the manager on duty in this department at the moment and will take care of you as soon as I finish the order I'm already working on. At that moment another associate got done with her customer and took care of the woman, who left after telling us we were all slow and disrespectful and she would be calling corporate and blah blah blah. We had a laugh as we wondered what she thought the front-end manager was going to do about a department she had nothing to do with. On my break I relayed the story to her. She laughed and said, "Oh, that's name. She's a pain in the ass. You should have paged me. I'd have come back and told her to go to competing store."